Trump breaking news today. Angry campaign speech by Joe Biden pokes at loser Donald Trump's sore spot. In response to Trump's disparaging remarks about American service members killed in battle, Vice President Joe Biden branded Trump a loser on Saturday. During his speech at the First in the Nation dinner in South Carolina, Biden blasted Trump for allegedly calling American soldiers who died in World War I losers and suckers while he was president. "He has no right to say that. How dare you bring up my son and all those mistreated children," Biden retorted. "Listen, I hail them as heroes and patriots. Donald Trump is the only one who seems to be losing." After further apologizing for his outburst, the president continued, "It really offends me." On his X, formerly Twitter, page, Biden posted a video of his remarks. "Our veterans aren't losers," was the caption. Donald Trump is the only one who seems to be losing. Also criticizing Republican frontrunner Trump for 2024, Biden said that Trump wants an economic collapse within the next year. "That's amazing. It's un-American," Biden remarked. "An economic disaster affecting millions of Americans would be disastrous. How could anyone, particularly a former president, want this? Allow me to explain his true meaning. As far as Donald Trump is concerned, the economy is doing well and is only going to get better. Although it benefits the United States, he is aware that it will hurt his political career." On the other hand, a post on Biden's X account on Friday took aim at former President Trump from the opposite side of the aisle, using Melania Trump's "Be Best" anti-bullying slogan. In the state of Columbia, South Carolina Vice President Joe Biden made his second visit to South Carolina this month, this time a week before the Democratic primary, in an effort to gain support from black voters in the state that was crucial to his 2020 campaign. "You're the driving force behind my presidency." At the South Carolina State Fairgrounds in Columbia, he told the crowd, "You are the reason Donald Trump is a defeated former president and Kamala Harris is a storied vice president." He made the assertion on Saturday night during the fundraiser for the state Democratic Party. "You are the reason Donald Trump is a loser, and you're the reason we're going to win and beat him again." Protesters shouted for more years as they rose to their feet and waved red, white, and blue Biden/Harris banners. "Only 4 more years." He made the statement, "Today black small businesses are starting up at the fastest rate in 30 years, and went on to say that black unemployment was at its lowest point in historical American history, appending half a century of tradition. The Palmetto State will now serve as the first formal primary for the Democratic Party on February 3rd. This will give people of color a much earlier and more significant say in selecting the nominee. After the Iowa caucuses in 2024, how will Biden respond to Trump's moderate and independent support? Biden stated in a 2022 letter to the DNC Rules and Bylaws Committee that receiving overwhelming support from voters of color, and that includes Black, Brown, and Asian American and Pacific Islander voters, was necessary to become the Democratic nominee and win the general election. The number of minority voters who support Joe Biden has decreased since 2020, according to a number of recent polls. Black voter support has dropped dramatically, according to a new Roper Center poll, from 87% in 2020 to 63% now. The Democratic Party's focus on racial diversity has always been high. A Pew study from 2020 found that while 17% of Republicans identify as non-white, 4 out of 10 Democrats do. This includes people of color, Hispanics, Asians, and other non-white racial groups. People began congregating at the fairgrounds in the hours leading up to the event. On one of the inside walls fluttered an American flag. Proud of the state's new status, white mugs were arranged on the table. "Dems in South Carolina choose victors," it said. Number 1 in the country. The Democratic Party's nominee for president, House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries, Democrat New York, and Representative James Clyburn, Democrat South Carolina, were among the prominent black Democrats who advocated for the Biden/Harris campaign in the days preceding Saturday's event. Clyburn is said to have rekindled Joe Biden's flagging 2020 campaign and contributed to his victory in South Carolina. According to Clyburn, who spoke to USA Today on Friday, "I feel good about the campaign. She went on to say that the campaign will keep highlighting popular achievements, like their work to lower student loans, in order to win over voters. Also speaking at the event was Representative Dean Phillips of Minnesota, who is challenging Joe Biden for the Democratic nomination but was defeated in Tuesday's New Hampshire primary by a write-in campaign supporting Biden.